Hello and welcome to Bounty into Comics. My name is John Trent. I'm the founder and editor-in-chief at Bounty into Comics. And today this is our first open discussion. Decided to kind of start something new here on the fly. And I basically just want to chat with you all, see what you guys have to say, what's on your mind, answer any questions you might have for me. Just kind of talk about what you guys want to talk about. I see here that we got a couple folks already in the chat with us. We got Bunny with a Keyboard is here. Dr. Elixstein, which is Lopter, is here as well. And Bunny says can only stay an hour from now. I'm not planning on doing it that long. I think we're trying to keep it between half an hour to an hour max is kind of what I'm aiming for with these. But yeah, I just wanted to just kind of start something new here. And if you guys are have anything to talk about, we'll talk about that. Otherwise, I can fill up that time with some things to talk about. So I'm gonna throw it to you guys there in the chat if you have anything you want to bring up, anything you want to talk about. I know there's a bunch of stuff happening right now. We got on the website that we can talk about that I covered today. Pull it up here. So many. I got too many tabs open. One of the things I'm really excited about that I covered today was the new Mobile Suit Gundam anime that they announced. They're calling it. Let me pull it up here. I've already forgot it. It's like something of the witch. The Witch from Mercury is what it's called. So that's something that I'm actually really looking forward to. I'm a big sucker for Mobile Suit Gundam. I pretty much like a lot of what they do. Iron Blooded Orphans, probably up there is one of my top. Obviously, the original Mobile Suit is fantastic. Love that. I like Unicorn. Like the latest one was Unicorn. I like that. I have been watching some Double Zero. It's not as good as Iron Blooded Orphans, but it's okay. There's some I haven't watched all of them. Obviously, I haven't watched any of the seed stuff, so I do have to like kind of check out those. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of Mobile Suit Gundam, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with the Witch from Mercury. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. Yeah, Bunny, you got to catch up, man. The UC stuff I think is probably my favorite stuff, except for Iron Blooded Orphans, which isn't UC, which is standalone. And I highly recommend Iron Blooded Orphans, especially the first season. The first season is absolutely brilliant. I highly, highly recommend the first season of Iron Blooded Orphans. The second season, it's very grounded, very, it's very realistic. As far as like fighting in giant mobile suits is realistic, but it stays in the universe. There aren't really any kind of like crazy like superpowers or anything like that. But then you do have in the second season there start to be a little bit more kind of like supernatural superpower type stuff that happens, and for me it took away from the story. I still think the second season is good, but just not as good as that first season. Bunny says I'd need a list. Head's still kind of fuzzy, so I won't remember right now. Yeah, maybe that's something that I'll have to do. I'll have to create I'll have to like create a Gundam list, or maybe have I haven't seen all of them, so I have to like go watch all of them, which that'll take some time. So that list might not be coming anytime soon, but that is something that I might do in the future. Do a Mobile Suit Gundam list. Maybe I'll do top episodes from Iron Blooded Orphans. I could probably do something like that. But I definitely recommend the first season of Iron Blooded Orphans and the second season too, but definitely the first season. Shinkai is saying could create a MLA. What is an MLA? I know there's like MLA format for like writing, but I'm not sure I get the reference there. Oh, all the Gundam stuff is on YouTube, Bunny. It's all on Gundam. The YouTube channel Gundam Info has all of the Gundam on YouTube. Unicorn's on there. Build Divers is on there. I'm pretty sure. Oh, MLA, My Anime List. Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I knew that. Duh. I'm like thinking like MLA formatting. Okay, yeah, I know. I thought it was MAL. Yeah, MAL. That's why MAL is My Anime List. That's MLA. Okay, MAL. All right. Yeah, I think Sunrise has all their stuff on YouTube. They're actually like really good with that. So that's really good. Like I actually in the article that I did, I included the first episodes for Unicorn and Build Divers. So and they have them all in a playlist, so you can just watch them from there, and you can do that, and that's it's really cool. They do take them down sometimes, but they're up there right now. So yeah, okay. Mal is yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, welcome Shinkai. This is basically like the title of the YouTube says, an open discussion. What you guys want to talk about, we'll talk about it. If you have any questions for me, anything you want me to talk about, get my opinion for, throw it out there. This is what we're gonna try and do this. I think this might be like an everyday thing. We're gonna try and do half an hour to an hour. Hail Fenrir, how's it going? Good to see you. How does it feel that your mom has been changed in God of War? Talked a little bit about that last night with Spencer. But yeah, one of the other things that I did a video on it earlier. I just found this, like, I saw it last night on Facebook when I was like scrolling through, and just like they posted that it was like an ad for their video games. The Marvel people is ad for their video games, and they're literally just trying to get people, like, they're trying to promote the video games by using like celebrating Hispanic Latinx Heritage Month. And I saw some people were pointing out, like, why did they do Hispanic and Latinx? Like, what's the point? And then just everyone was like roasting them though with the Latinx. I thought that was really funny. But yeah, I had a little bit of fun with that video. Definitely, I'm trying to do a little bit more videos like that. Similar, I think I really like Hero High's style, where he just kind of like points the stuff out, and it's like, these people are stupid, and I think that's kind of episode one, Lopter, episode 1, 001 episode. E is short for episode. It's usually how people label like podcasts and stuff. Yeah, episode 1. Yeah, I thought this was they didn't think this through. It was like, we'll see how she plays in the game, if she'll be an ally or if she'll be someone that like Kratos has to kill. Usually I didn't get very far in the first game of the remake, where of the Norse stuff, God of War, whatever. I didn't get very far in that because I just didn't find the gameplay very compelling. And but I mean, usually he just kills everyone in his path. Yeah, Luigi's here. I knew you'd have something to say about that. It says Latinx is stupid and hard to pronounce for any Latino. Changing languages is in fact political correctness, and censorship running rampant. The X in Spanish is pronounced like the English H. Yeah. I mean, I took a bunch of years of Spanish in high school and in college. Not a lot of it has stuck with me, I'll be honest, because if you don't practice it, you kind of lose it. But yeah, I don't like. It was Latino and Latina. Like that's how you did it. That's how the Spanish language is. It's not with an X. Dave Marks is here. He's asking open discussion. Yes, there you go. You know what we're on to. Just ask away. What are your thoughts on pineapple pizza? You must have seen Lady Gravemaster's tweet earlier, and then she was talking about deep dish Chicago, and I've had deep dish Chicago. I like I like my New York style better. I probably actually like thin crust, honestly. I'm a huge fan of thin crust pizza. But yeah, I don't have any problems with pineapple on pizza. At college, that was like I went to Virginia Tech down in Blacksburg here in Virginia, and we had a place called DX Dietrich Express. It was at the bottom. You go there, midnight runs or whatever, late night, obviously late night runs because you're out having gallivanting in the night. And yeah, they'd have pineapple on the pizza. I didn't have any problems with that. And then yeah, like Domino's flat crust, pineapple, and ham and bacon or whatever Hawaiian. I don't have any problems with it. It tastes good. As far as candy corn, I responded to Lady Grandmaster and was like, add some candy corn to that. I probably wouldn't try that. That was more me being tongue in cheek just on Twitter because I know that Lady Gravemaster is not a fan of candy corn, so I was just having a little fun there. I don't think I would put candy corn on my pizza. But I mean, for me, what I usually get, I get the meat lovers on the pizza. That's if I'm ordering a pizza, I'm getting a meat lovers usually, and that's meatball. Like it depends on who you're ordering it from, but usually it can have anything from like meatball, pepperoni, bacon, ham, sausage, Canadian bacon, Italian sausage. Just load it up there. Hamburger is good too. Any like meat lovers pizza is good for me. That's usually what I order. But I have no problems with pineapple on pizza. And I used to get pineapple. My wife and I would get it sometimes from Domino's when we were in the old townhouse. But haven't had pineapple pizza in a while just because my go-to is meat lovers. And I like the meat lovers pizza. That's my good. Yeah, I like onion. I mean, I don't like mushrooms, so I wouldn't put mushrooms on there. But if you put onions or peppers on there, that's fine too. YouTube me is saying meat is the only toppings. Yeah, that's usually for me. But yeah, I'm fine with adding other stuff. I'm not a fan of mushrooms, and it's not like their taste because I don't feel like mushrooms really have a taste. It's the texture for me. I just don't like the mushroom texture. Luigi says here, pineapple on pizza is fine. Combination veggie and pineapple pizza can have some nutrition. Yeah, now I usually have like a salad or something like that. And like by salad, it's like lettuce, maybe some spinach, and whatever meat I'm going to put on the salad. And then I just douse it in ranch. Oh, yeah, we were doing, so when I was doing keto, like really hardcore, I would get the cauliflower pizzas, and they taste the same. I don't really notice. I didn't notice the frozen ones didn't really know. Obviously, they're not the same as like going to a pizzeria and having a pizza made that way, but they tasted the same as like a Red Baron or any other frozen pizza to me. So I don't have any problems with a cauliflower pizza. Haven't had one of those in a while either, though. Yeah, Fenrir says I'm a meat lovers guy with tons of cheese. Yeah, I'm surprised that other like. I don't know. I do think there's something fascinating about the stuffed crust stuff. I'm surprised more people don't do that. It probably adds to it probably is a little bit more expensive and you don't get as much of a return, and that's why you probably don't see that as much. But lots of cheese is always good for me too. I'd rather have more cheese than over sauce as well. Shinkai says, I also love getting meat lovers pizza with some jalapeno. Ooh, that sounds good too. I like jalapenos. One time in high school in home ec, put sliced dry. Oh no, go. Woo! I'm sure it warms you up, Shinkai. I'm sure that warms you up quite well. A ghost pepper. Woo! Seen those videos, man. I have to stay away from a ghost pepper. No, thank you. Lord Thoth is asking questions. YouTube me says my wife gets seafood. I don't think I've ever had seafood on a pizza. I wouldn't be opposed to it, like shrimp or something like that. I could see that. Some crab, that could be good. I don't think I've ever had that on a pizza though. That's what's great about a pizza though, man. You can put anything on it. Yeah, pizza. I would probably say pizza is my second favorite food. You asked me that question like, I don't know, 5 years ago. I probably said pizza's number one, but man, barbecue is like number one for me now. I love barbecue. Ooh, scallops too. Yeah. scalloped shrimp with a bechamel instead of marinara. Yeah, that sounds good too. That's absolutely not true. Nope. Nothing wrong with having pineapple on a pizza. Yeah, steak barbecue. That's pretty good. My favorite is brisket. I'm a brisket fan when it comes to barbecue. There's this place in San Antonio. My wife and I were visiting my aunt and uncle for Christmas 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago, and we had to leave early for it was a family emergency. And so we missed out on going to this place on San Antonio, but my parents were also there on the trip. And they brought back this like huge like platter of the brisket. And oh my gosh, man. I don't know what the restaurant was. I can't remember right now, but man, that brisket was the best I've ever had. It was so good. I really, really enjoyed it. I like lasagna too. The best lasagna I had was in Italy, in Bologna. Actually, no, Bologna was like second. That was the second best lasagna. The best lasagna I had was also in Italy, but it was in Rome, and it was right. It was like right by the It was in one of those alleys right by the Parthenon. Man, that lasagna was good. That was really good lasagna. Really good. Oh yeah, dude. T-bones, ribs, briskets. I love yeah. I'm telling you, man, barbecue. Barbecue is good. Pizza is the fifth element. Yeah. No, man, pizza's great. I don't think I've ever had shawarma. I don't think I've had. Oh my gosh, totally blanking on it. The Greek. I had the Greek. Comes on like the pita bread, and you usually have like the meat in it, and then they have like their little like white sauce that you put on top of it. That's usually pretty good. But no, I don't think I've ever had shawarma. Even after Avengers, I didn't go. I didn't seek it out. Yeah, I'll agree with that, Nano Reaper. I'm telling you, man, that place in San Antonio was super, super good. I don't think I've had bison brisket. Hero, thank you, Dave. That's what I had. A Hero, thank you. Well, I was blanking on that. Like the pizza place I go to is literally a Greek place, and you can get Heroes there. I just was totally blanking on it. They're like an Italian Greek place. I think I'll wait until after I save a major city. Yeah. I feel like shawarma is like after you save New York. Bison brisket is better. I've never had bison brisket. For those who just joined, welcome. This is open discussion. If you have any questions, any topics you want to talk about, just fire away. That's what we're here for. Here to talk about it. Just have an open discussion. We're going to go probably half an hour to an hour. And I'm going to try and do this probably every weekday moving forward. But just open discussion. Just have at it. Like right now, we're just talking about food. This food is great. Oh, you smoke? Oh, man, I'm jealous. Smoke ribs and pork about once a month. You know, my brother-in-law just got a smoker, and he did some smoked ribs when we were down there last. They turned out pretty well. Cameron Morgan asks, how did you get started with Bounty into Comics? Yeah, so I was basically in a dead-end job. It wasn't really going anywhere. I was asking for more work to do and wasn't really having any opportunities to do any more work. So I started Bounty into Comics on the side. It was basically just going to be a comic book. I was basically just doing comic book reviews in the beginning. It was around 2014, I believe, 2015. And evolved from there. I got like asked to submit my reviews to another website called Adventures in Poor Taste, which I was submitting my reviews to them as well. But I really wanted to keep doing what I was doing with Bounding, and then I decided to kind of dabble into some like opinion editorial type pieces where we're just like making fun of like stupid stuff that was happening. Like people, there's like, I remember like one of the guys that I was working with in that old job. He did a piece on like this Wonder Woman lunchbox getting banned. It's one of our older stories, and that was like one of our like first editorials that we did, and then from there we just kind of started getting into like doing more news stuff. I did actually reach out to a lot of the publishers and started getting on their press lists, and I was starting to just do kind of like straight comic book news. And I was still trying to do reviews, but the reviews were just taking up so much time. I just decided to start doing more news and editorial. And then I really started getting into the news and editorial around the time when the Milo Manara Spider-Woman cover came out, and the Batgirl cover by Raphael Albuquerque as well came out, and all the like craziness around that. And that's kind of really where it took off, and we started doing a lot more opinion and news type stuff with that. And then obviously with the advent of Comicsgate, we were kind of heavily covering a lot of that stuff that was happening. I remember covering Ethan back when he went to a pizzeria to do just like a signing in Florida. And the next day afterwards, like someone like vandalized the pizza shop with a giant rock and threw a rock through the window and everything. And Ethan had said he'd gotten all these threats and stuff. So that was we covered that. And then we covered when, I forget who it was. I think it was B. Claymore. I can't remember. I have to go back and look, but Richard C. Meyer was getting threatened when he was like just walking around like Baltimore Comic-Con or whatever. So that's kind of how I started Bounding in Comics. Hopefully that answers your question, Cameron. Bunny with the Keyboard says, I may as well ask, what rules would you prefer when we at you? So I'll be honest. I know Odin just he only looks at Odin when he was doing his live stream, and I'll be honest, his live stream inspired me to do this. So shout out to Odin's movie blog. But I mean, right now I'm just looking at the chat. So on the back end of StreamYard. So I can just see it. It's not too bad right now. So you can just ask away. The chat's not moving by too fast. Usul Moadib says, I just discovered BIC about 5+ months ago, and I love reading articles that are rooted in fact and not feelings. Keep up the great work. Yeah, thank you, Usul. That's one of the main things that we try to do. That's not to say we don't do opinion pieces, and not to say that I don't get emotional sometimes when I'm doing a video or writing an article, but I do try and make it clear that this is what happened first, and then I'll usually add an opinion towards the end. I know sometimes Spencer is a little more snarkier in his writing, so he has a little more snark, he's like kind of laying out what's happening. Yeah, I appreciate that. That is something that we do try and take pride in, is keeping it honest. And there's so much information out there, and we're such a small team, and we do try and make sure that we have the latest information up to date when we're writing our articles. Bunny with the Keyboard asks, is that the cringe thing where Spider-Woman was fighting while 8 months pregnant? You shouldn't even... No, the Milo Manara Spider-Woman cover was not Spider-Woman pregnant. That was a lot later. I think that was like 2018, I feel like, was the Spider-Woman pregnant cover. Or not cover, so that was in the comic. No, the Spider-Woman cover was Milo Manara, who is an Italian artist who is known for his risque artwork, paintings, and comic book covers. And it wasn't even risque. He showed, let me see if I can pull it up and I can just show you what it is. So that's probably easier if my share screen works, because it wasn't working last night. All right. Yes, it's working now. Here we go. So So this is the Spider-Woman variant cover. Let me see. I'll just there it is. This was the Milo Manara Spider-Woman cover. Obviously, they put the title over top. That's not there in the original one. Yeah, Stream Flag. Yeah, probably. Probably Stream Flagged. Yeah, probably. But yeah, so this was the Spider-Woman variant cover. I think it's this is a variant cover, 2014, and it's just showing her in this position, and people like threw a fit. You can just guess who threw the fit. And they're like, you can't, Spider-Man would never look like that. Like, that's just an unnatural pose. And you literally had women just like would literally pose like that. And then there's like multiple Spider-Man covers where he's in that position. So it was just absolutely absurd and stupid. But this was like with the beginning. I think this was one of the beginnings of the the woke was already there, but this was like one of the what is the word I'm looking for? The first conflicts, I guess, where you saw a big clash on social media. All right. Hail, Paul Gibb. Good to see you. Oh, dude, I'm not a big fan of root beer. I'll be honest, Nina root beer. I don't like root beer. I like Dr. Pepper. I don't like root beer. I don't like licorice either. I just something about the taste. Maybe the vodka like overpowers it though, and the vanilla maybe. Finner the Ice Wolf says, "You guys are the best to keep out of the ridiculous BS that is out there. Keep with the good one." Yeah, I do. I mean, I do try and stay away from a lot of the drama. I see it out there. We have gotten caught up in it a couple times, but I usually try and avoid the drama because I don't think it's very helpful, and it doesn't. It just makes everyone usually look bad all around. There are no real winners. Everyone ends up being a loser. But yeah, I do try and stay out of it for the most part. But that's not to say that I haven't like gotten into it, because I have. And it's usually it's usually defending ourselves. But yeah, I do try and stay out of it. Luigi the Metal 64 says, "Is it stupid when online users say stuff like Maid Dragon is great simply because of the dragons and being a Kyoto anime? It sounds like they're saying you don't need skill to make something great." I don't know. You'd have to give me an example. Is it stupid when online users say stuff like Maid Dragon is great simply because of the dragons? I mean, like, based off this question, I would say, yeah, that does sound kind of stupid. Like, I don't think anything can be great just because it has dragons and it's done by a certain studio. Clearly, that's can't be true. You have to have like something. You have to have like a story as well. But that's not to say the animation isn't great. But I think you'd have to have like a decent story. But I'll be honest, I haven't watched that anime or read that manga. So it's hard for me to comment on that. Yeah, Shinkai says Spider-Man does almost that exact pose. Yeah, he does. He does. It was all fake. They were all just trying to virtue signal. And it was one of the first moments where we really saw that these people were just lying to push an agenda. And it disgusted me. It still disgusts me now when I see it. And it's spread. It's obviously clearly now in like all these major corporations now, and we saw it back in 2014 in little old Marvel comics. Yeah, Dave Mark says the pose that broke a bunch of small brains. Yeah, and just like what Shinkai was saying, Spider-Man does that pose like all the time. So yeah, Lord Thos says he owns that cover. Yeah, it's a good one to have. The spark that's I really do. I actually like, it's probably one of my favorite pieces. It's a satire piece. I don't know how many people have read it. I don't know. It's called. Let me see if I can find it here. It's one of my favorite articles that I've actually written. It's not going to find it. Hold on. But it was basically, I think it was a satire on like the Washington Post or like a Vulture article, and they were trying to like chronicle the rise of Comicsgate, and I just did an actual satire of their article and chronicled the real history of Comicsgate. Let me see if I can find it. Might take me a little bit here. Hold on. There's a lot of articles with Comicsgate in the headline, especially from like 2018, 2017. Here it is. I found it. I actually use Minara's. I use Minara's variant cover as the featured image. So here it is. It's called #Comicsgate, how anti-speech harassment got ugly and profitable. And I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom real quick here. And yeah, it's a pretty long article. But yeah, so it's a satire. It's Daily Bees of Asher Elbeen's article, which was titled #Comicsgate, how an anti-diversity harassment campaign in comics. So I'm satirizing this guy's Daily Beast article. And so like, I start off with Spider-Woman because I do think that that's where it really kicked off with Comicsgate, really kicked off with the Spider-Woman cover. If you haven't read this, I recommend reading it. I think it does. I think I do a really good job chronicling how Comicsgate started and what happened with it and everything that went back to it. And like I said, it's a satire of the Daily Beast article, but this tweet's got deleted. That's annoying. Yeah, this was before. You can see how like we've totally changed our style now because you can see we actually have tweets embedded. And the reason why we screenshot the tweets now and put them in is because you have people. I don't think Monroe got his. He didn't delete that. He's suspended. They banned him from Twitter. The reason why we screenshot tweets now. I think this one is a screenshot. But usually why we screenshot tweets now is because people delete tweets. So that's why we screenshot them now instead of just embedding them. So you can actually see that like this is what they said. Dr. Pepper for the win. Yes, 100%. Union says the great thing about BAC is that BAC is journalism instead of being editorial pieces. I think for the most part, I don't consider myself a journalist. I wouldn't call myself a journalist. I call myself an editor-in-chief. But we do editorial pieces too. But those are usually clear in the headlines and in the first sentence that it's an opinion piece. At least I think. I hope they're clear. I think I make them clear. But for the most part, yeah, it's usually just fact-based, and then we ask your opinion afterwards. But we do some opinion pieces, and a lot of times they're like labeled opinion in the headline too. But yeah, Dr. Pepper is great. I love I do diet Dr. Pepper obviously because I try and keep my carbs down. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the cover, Nano Reaper. People were just upset. Slavic One says hello, Slavic One. Roof Korean says, anyone else find the irony with the Blizzard employees? The activists that insist the right is trying to make everyone Handmaid's Tale only to turn every female WoW NPC into the Handmaid's Tale. It's not just every female NPC. I think Spencer has an article in the works that they're changing like in-game paintings now in World of Warcraft to like make them to cover them up. It's just absolutely insane what is going on at Blizzard. Especially because like you have like the actual like that lawsuit from California that alleges they did all of these horrible things at their BlizzCon conventions. So yeah, I mean it's what you expect from AAA game studios and Hollywood. They all think the same way. They're all hypocrites. They all are like, do what I say, not what I do. Rules for thee, not for me. Like they're the exception. They're special. Everyone else has to follow their rules, and their rules are always changing. So even if you get them in a hypocrisy, well, it doesn't matter because they changed the rules that day to like exempt themselves from whatever hypocrisy they were in. And that's the world we live in today, unfortunately. But I think it's changing. People are wisening up to it. They're realizing that that's wrong. Yeah, Bunny with the keyboard said they had Spider-Man crawling around like a spider. What are they trying? Yeah, like literally, that's the type of reaction. Like I know you're mocking like like you're like so one of these people, but that's what they were like. That's what people were saying. Yeah, anime. There's so many genres in anime. Chuck Dixon was talking about that. There's literally a fly fishing manga that you can watch. There's like cooking anime and manga. Like there's like anime is there's so many different niches within anime that you cannot find in Western entertainment whatsoever for the most part. Slavic One asks, do you think Hollywood is going to continue to try to appeal to China after China banned gay stuff in their entertainment? Yes, I do, especially in the short term. I mean, they got Luca in. F9 was in China. I was reading, CNBC was saying that they got Black Widow approved in China, but it hasn't been distributed because there's like they're celebrating their like communist anniversary or something. So there's like a media blackout, and it's all like CCP propaganda that people are able to have to watch or consume. But I don't think these people are going to continue. Like, yes, they're going to continue chasing that huge population that they think they can get lots of money from. And then they're going to sacrifice their freedoms in order to obtain it, and their principles, their dignity, their honor. Basically, they're going to sell out, as they have done already, and continue to sell out. I don't think that's going to change. It's the same people in Hollywood running it. Yeah. 100% interview. You're totally right. Bunny asks, I want to ask if anyone knows if Orcs Must Die 3 has been ruined by Awokeness. I don't know. I haven't seen anything on Orcs Must Die 3. I have to look into that. I mean, it doesn't sound like it sounds like a game that's like anti-woke. Orcs must die. I got to kill the orcs. But who knows now? Who knows? Fenrir's comment's funny. I'm not going to put that up though. Luigi the Metal 64 says art is a creative expression and free speech. Censoring takes away any artist's original harmless intent. Imagine making Michelangelo's David clothed up. Wait, Simpsons kind of did it, which was Marge. Yeah, but they didn't do it to actual David. Like, there's a difference between like parodying something and doing it to the actual like statue. Yeah, Fenrir. Blizzard used to be one of the best game makers ever, but now I just wish it got burned to the ground and destroyed for good because it's just an embarrassment from what it was. So I know a lot of people love Blizzard, play the Warcraft games, the RTS. That was like one of the few RTS games I didn't even know about it, honestly, until World of Warcraft came out. Because I was playing Dark Age of Camelot, and I love Dark Age of Camelot because I love the realm versus realm. I love the end game was like 8 versus 8. Because I was in high school at the time, and I had a lot of time on my hands to do that, and I could get good at it. I practiced a lot. And then World of Warcraft came out and basically just killed all those MMOs because, like, in order to have really solid realm versus realm, you need people to fight, right? And there was no one there when World of Warcraft came out because everyone was playing World of Warcraft. So I eventually followed everyone over there, and I played World of Warcraft for quite a bit. But I know, and like I never really got it. I know people like Diablo. I played some Diablo. I haven't played a lot of Diablo, but I I mean, I've never been like a huge Blizzard fan. That just wasn't I just didn't play a lot of their games. I wasn't even really aware of them again, like I said, until World of Warcraft. I played Dark Age of Camelot and like Age of Empires and like Age of Mythology. Those were the games that I was playing when I was a wee lad. But yeah, so when I see stuff like this, though, I do feel like there's like an opportunity. Get rid of a lot of the bad apples, have people actually come in creative to do good stuff, and you get good, you can like bring it back, right? Or you can also, like, the people that were there are making their own stuff now with their own companies and doing other things. So yeah, it's just a brand there that's like a hollow shell of what it used to be, and you just move on. Yeah, Lord Thoth says haven't bought a Blizzard game in a long time. I think the last thing Blizzard I played was I checked out the card game on mobile, and I was like, no thanks. I'm not a big card game fan, so I didn't like it, and I uninstalled. Yeah, I agree with you, Slavic. A company is only as good as the people behind it. If the talented people leave, you get what you get. Yeah, 100% agree with that. That's what I mean. I do agree with that. I mean, companies are a collection of people, and if the people behind it are suck, don't have a lot of talent, don't have a lot of creative juices, they're not very good people, then the company's usually probably not going to be very good, and they're not going to have good products. I agree with you 100% there. Yeah, I mean, I played World of Warcraft. I remember World of Warcraft being at its peak. I remember I was in one of the top guilds on my server. We were doing I don't even remember what it's called now. It was right before Burning Crusade. You had to like fight all these like undead people. I can't remember. It was like some Crypt Keep or whatever. But we were doing like the top raids. We were like the second best guild, I think, on the server. So yeah, I remember like old school classic WoW was a lot of fun. Burning Crusade was good. I think I quit after Cataclysm, and that was the last time I played. Yeah, I see what Luigi's saying here to you, Fenrir. This is what I was saying this last night. The truth will always come out. Time is always against lies. The truth will always surface. We'll see what happens. Anna Reaper says I like StarCraft and Warcraft, but not the MMO. I was more of an EVE Online and Lord of the Rings Online fan for MMOs. Yeah, I literally played Dark Age of Camelot. That was my MMO for a long time, and then I switched to WoW. But yeah, Total War. I liked Medieval 2. Total War. That was awesome. That was my intro. I do want to check out the Warhammer one. I got it on Steam, but like the laptop I had, it couldn't handle it. Because by that time I didn't use a PC anymore. I didn't have a tower. I just had the laptop. But I do need to. Eventually, I want to get another tower, so I do want to check out some of the Total War Warhammer stuff, because that does look fun. Because I just like I like the Total War mechanics where you have like the Civ like super 4X type strategy, but then you can also like get down to like the RTS style strategy on the battlefield, and you have to have like, and I like the city management. I liked all that. I like the city management, the troop management, the family bloodline management. Like I thought that I loved how how complex that Total War Medieval 2 game was. Absolutely fantastic. Dave Marks asked, first video game. Thanks for streaming, Alex streams. So my first the first video game I ever played was Monopoly on like MS DOS. My dad had like a old MS DOS computer that was like kept in the basement, and it had Monopoly on there, and I played Monopoly on that. like if you want to like talk about a real one, I think I tried to play EverQuest, and I didn't realize you needed an internet connection for it. So I never played it because didn't have an internet connection at the time. So I never played EverQuest, but then I played Age of Empires 2. And that's what I remember being like the first. And then obviously there was like Chex Quest and like Life and stuff you got out of like the cereal boxes. But Age of Empires 2 is probably like the first one that I remember like really, really playing. And that was probably like at my house. At school when I was in 6th grade, they had like Caesar 3, which was a city building game. And I really like that. You're just like building up Rome and stuff. And then they made a game called Zeus, Master of Olympus. The same people who made I think it was the same people who made Caesar 3. And I love that as a city building game. It was like SimCity or Sim Parks or whatever. But I also played this game called like Zumbinis, which is like a learning game. There's like a math game. There's a couple other like learning games that I played. But like the first like probably like real like video game I would say was probably Age of Empires 2. No, absolutely not. I did an article where I wrote that Star Wars is dead. It is. I don't. Here, I pulled it up. Yeah, after Bob Chapek came out and did that, I think it was their investor. I think it was at their investor conference in March. Yeah, here it is. I did this article here. Disney CEO Bob Chapek confirms Star Wars is dead and provides revolting. Yeah, and it was their annual meeting of shareholders, not investors. Sorry, the shareholders meeting, and he was asked about the firing of Gina Carano, and that just proved to me that the people running Disney are just bad people, and bad people running Star Wars is going to make bad Star Wars. So, yeah, I don't think there's any chance of Star Wars really recovering anytime soon. Maybe way in the future, there's a possibility, but I don't see it recovering anytime in the short run. I am extremely skeptical of the Coda remake, given what the lead producer said, that it's a ground up remake and that they're going to be changing people's costumes and everything. That's what he said. He said that. And then they obviously have Sam Mags too, which is another red flag. So there's lots of red flags for the Coda remake. And I mean, you just see that they just keep like destroying things as they go along. And they've made it very clear that's what the people they hire make it very clear that's what they're doing. Nina Reaper asks, what are your thoughts on what Games Workshop is doing to the Warhammer 40 community? Yeah, so this was something that was just brought to our attention yesterday, something I hadn't been following. I hadn't looked at, seen what Arch was doing in a bit, because I know I had been following Arch a lot, because Arch is like the guy to go to when you're talking about Warhammer. But when I heard what they were doing, I was just like absolutely shocked. That's what you do when you are trying to kill your own franchise. It just absolutely makes no sense to me. It's hypocritical. They went out and hired Astartes because he did great fan stuff, and then they come out and say they're banning other fan people. It's like, dude, you just hired a guy who is making fan videos to like improve your own animation that you are obviously starting to do in-house for Warhammer animation, and you don't want to find other talent like that that's just going to go out and do it themselves. And it's clearly loves Warhammer, understands Warhammer, wants to be involved in Warhammer, and just to like shut people down like that, it's stupid. I mean, the whole IP stuff, man, it's getting out of control. These people are so protective of their stuff, and what I ended up doing is they're going to be so protective, they're going to lose it. They're going to lose it. Haven't seen anything on Tales of Arise yet. Haven't played it. I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the Tales franchise, just because I'm not like a huge fan of their like combat systems. Just, I don't know. I just don't really usually like the Tales combat systems. I just find them overly Like, this might sound weird, but like I just think they're just overly complicated for an RPG. That's not to say you can't like get them down, but I'm just like I prefer my classic combat style for like an RPG, like turn-based. I do like the way that Final Fantasy VII Remake's combat worked. What is the oh my gosh, what is it called? Ni no Kuni's combat system is decent too, where it's kind of like a hybrid turn-based with the characters. But I don't know. For me, when I like playing RPG, I usually like simple is better for me. I think just with an RPG. Are you saying that I'm old? I'm what, 33, I think? Yeah, 33. Not that old. Oregon. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, Oregon Trail. I played that in Computer Lab. That's right. I always forget that one. My wife and I actually got a card game, Oregon Trail. It's not as good. The original Computer Lab game was better. Yeah, I did play. I played Super Mario Duck Hunt too, but that I didn't own that. It was like at a friend's house or whatever. My parents didn't allow me to have a console, so I didn't play any console games. If I did play them, they were at a friend's house. So like my first console, I bought it. It was a PlayStation 2. It was my first console. I think I was in college when I got it. Yeah, I love the Final Fantasy 12 gambit system. That was my first Final Fantasy game, and I that's what got me into Final Fantasy was Final Fantasy 12, and I really liked the gambit system. I loved how complex the world was, how there was like it wasn't really like an open world, but there were so many places you could go and explore and different creatures and like different settings. And then you got Final Fantasy 13 and it was like so linear. Like you and I just did not like Final Fantasy. I love the characters of Final Fantasy 13. I think the characters are actually really interesting. Lightning, Hope, what's the Snow, Saz. I love the characters. I think the characters had like really cool personalities, and I thought they were really well done. I just the way that they structured the story and the way they had you move through it, just I did not like that as a final. I didn't like it. It was so different from Final Fantasy 12 and like what I was expecting, which is like an expansive world, and then this was just like just go from like point A to point B and like fight the mob. Whereas like with 12, you could explore and travel around and stuff like that. And I just like Final Fantasy 12 is I think still one of the better Final Fantasy games out there. Probably one of the more underrated ones. Yeah, Hallway Simulator, 100%. Truly, that's a great way to describe it. Hallway Simulator. Just sucked. Did not like it. I've never done anything with their actual like the I know Az does stuff with the tabletop. I've never done anything with the tabletop. I don't have the patience for the tabletop stuff. I would get so frustrated. Like I would be like I would get so because I'd make a mistake or something and like and like I could just see myself just getting like upset. Oh yeah, Vanille for Final Fantasy 13. Yeah. I like so I'm saying the characters are really cool. I like the design. I like the personality and everything. But Luigi says Street Fighter games are hard since your opponents are quick to make their moves before you can input moves. The hamster KOF ports have a level setting of little opponent reaction changes. King of Hamster, I'm assuming that's King of Fighter. I played Street Fighter in summer camp. Went to a boys and girls club, and they had a game room, and they had a bunch of old like Super Nintendos and NESs. The N64, the new stuff was downstairs, but the game room had the like, and I remember I forget what his name is, E Honda. I played E Honda, and I was able to memorize his attack combos, and I was basically unstoppable with E Honda, because if you tried to do any kind of ranged attack, I would use the spear attack and like counter you. And then if you try to get in close, you just do his like move where he's like karate chopping you like super fast. So you can't even like get in, and you only need to like memorize those like 2 moves, and you could just counter anyone. And so I got really good at E Honda, and I had a lot of fun, because we'd have like tournaments among ourselves with Street Fighter. That was a lot of fun. Crunchyroll inside the PlayStation Network subscription. I don't know. I watch Crunchyroll. I know people like have their issues with Crunchyroll. I mean, yeah. So I watch it through Roku, but I had it on my PS4, and you don't have to use it through a PSN. I don't think so. You could just it's just an app that you could watch, if I remember correctly. But like I just have it on. I just got the Roku. Their app, I have a lot of issues with their app. Like every time like an ad break comes in, because I don't pay for it. Anytime an ad break comes in, like a lot of times it'll like just completely like freak out, and it just like starts like flashing, and so I have to like back out of in the middle of the episode that I'm watching in order to like get it to go away, and then go back in and hope that it like remembered where I was. Intelligent button mashing with Street Fighter. That's how it used to be, and then I figured out what the combos were for E Honda. Man, you figured them out. It's pretty good. I don't even know what they are now, though. Yeah, Shinkai's like, I don't. That's usually how I am with fighting games. That's why I suck at them. Spencer's the fighting game guy. If I play a fighting game, it's usually like Injustice, and I'm playing for the story rather than the actual like fighting. But yeah, I'm usually like, for fighting games, I just like smash the buttons too. That's me. All right, well, we're at 5:30. It's been about an hour. It's kind of said where that was going to be our closing off. Hope you all enjoyed this first episode of our open discussion here at Bounty into Comics. Plan to do these once a day. I think I'm not sure if got a set time for it yet, but probably be in the afternoon. But thank you all for joining me here. I really appreciated it. Geez, can I speak? Look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. And if not, hope you have a great weekend, and definitely see you on Monday. And then we definitely have our Black Pill stream on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, and we usually go to midnight. So look forward to us there. Again, thank you all so much, and see you tomorrow.